Run that back turbo.
Money, puddle, gotta cuddle, lot of orders, dollars, quarters, wrist, water, rich, porter, your bitch, gonna, wanna, come on, hunters, hey, hammer.
Fucking listen to that, man. Birds chirping, sun's out, it's fucking class. Weather's been pure piss recently, so that's decent. Update on me, calories still at the same place, cardio still at the same place, but I keep dropping weight, so nothing to change there. 0.3 down this morning. What usually happens with me is my weight just stays at one point for a wee while, like a few days, and whoosh, it'll just drop down. I think that's the case for most people, to be fair. But yeah, I've got a push session today, talk about occlusion bands, because fuck it, why not? Talk about volume today, so stick a bit for that. Aye. Has anyone noticed since fucking sunbeds shut, their skin's just absolutely shit? Like mine's just absolutely dialing it, and I think it's definitely because of that. I've never ever been this bad with my skin before. Oh, it's the stress of lockdown. It's the stress. And that too, probably. But aye, welcome to the video. Stick about. See you soon. Fucking hell, just had to look at my face and I looked like an absolute homeless person, so I had to give myself a wee shave mid-session. But wait till you see this, probably the biggest L of 2020 when it comes to home training right here. Oh, check out the new fucking squat rack. Really nice, really tall, perfect for squatting, nice and assembled. Kind of, obviously, fucking, it's not a squat rack, it's a barbell rack, but at the time, I bought this on Sports Direct, right, desperate for something like this, but without realising it was way too small, so cancelled it immediately. They wouldn't cancel my order, even though it took 6 weeks to process and arrive, so that's really, really frustrating. Suppose that's what I get though for being a mad stupid bastard. Anyway, that is the chronicles of my home training. Still on the hunt for a squat rack. Hopefully I can pick one up soon. They're starting to get less rare to get a hold of is what I've noticed. Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, loads of places are doing stuff for me, so I just need to wait till I get paid and then hopefully I can pick one up soon. I'm actually not a big fan of, you know, a dumbbell fly, just because with a regular dumbbell fly, if you think about it, the only, you know, hard part is at the bottom here, is in the stretch position here, right? But as you come up, the resistance drops off quite a lot, and there's not that much challenge at all throughout the pec at this part here at all, and that's more, you know, you're just offloading the weight. However, with those bands, that adds a really good deal of tension towards that mid and shorten range as well. So yeah, I'm using a foam roller behind my back just to get a wee bit more elevation so I'm not on the floor. Just that tiny wee bit of extra range of motion there. Next up I've got a single arm tricep extension.
Find something new. Oh, I've been trying. Oh, I've been trying. Oh, I've been trying. Trying. I'm tired of life, I'm tired of you. I need to change, find something new. I'm tired of life, I'm tired of you. I need to change and find something new.
Yeah, that really fucking hurts. The one thing that I've been missing most in the gym is those cuffed laterals with the cables. However, that with the band, pretty much it feels feels almost the same. The only difference is that it's getting harder as you're getting weaker. But how you balance that is you basically work in that lengthened range there, so work from here to here, and then once you feel here, stretch the band out and work from here to here. So you're working the delt for its full range there in like one set. 3 sets of this, I usually aim for like 12 to 15, just kind of pump work, just get some, you know, blood in there. Right, so you're probably wondering what the fuck these are, right? Now this is occlusion bands, right? And what occlusion bands do is they let blood flow in, but they restrict blood flow out. Now what you're doing there is by restricting the blood out of the muscle, you're just creating a whole lot more stress and a whole lot more damage than you would normally. One thing, it's also safer on the joints, it also requires a lot less weight, so if you've got an injury or anything like that, it's really, really helpful for that. Safe on your joints, method of hypertrophy, stimulates muscle growth, why not do it? I just want to talk a wee bit more about occlusion bands actually, because there's a couple of things that I missed out. Now, one of the reasons that you would do them is because we're using such light weight, your CNS's ability to recover from it is very, very, very quick. So you could potentially do this every day, right, and recover from it. So that's another really, really good method of just, you know, providing that stimulus. Again, and what it is you're actually doing, flushing all this blood into the muscle without letting it leave, right, causing a whole load of like metabolite stress basically, which we know is one of the mechanisms of hypertrophy. So if you can program your full session with mechanical tension, muscle damage and metabolic stress, then you're pretty much going to have the most well-rounded training plan, you know, you can have. So definitely pick up one of these. I would really, really highly recommend. I got these off Amazon, and not to mention they make you look fucking huge because you're swole as fuck for about 5 minutes after you do it. So definitely pick up a pair of these. I'm going to finish off with biceps. Oh my god. As soon as I finish training, this arrives, right? Now, if you don't know what this is, it's like a pulley system, right? So obviously I've got about 90 kilos in free weight, so that can attach to that. And then it's like a cable. So fucking, I'm so happy with this. A pair of D handles as well. That's so helpful. And I'm not sure what this is, but I'll assemble this and I'll show you how it looks. But I'm absolutely buzzing about this. If this was relatively cheap, it was about £30 off Amazon. Now it said it wasn't getting delivered until the 22nd of July. Obviously it's came just now, so you know, just get it if you can, and it should come quicker. But I'm super buzzing with this. Okay, what's happening? I just thought I'd end off this video where we kind of, you know, educational topic, right? Now, one question I get asked all the time is how many sets should I do per body part? Like, how do you know if you're doing enough? Like, am I doing too little sets? How much do I need to grow from? And so on. Now, everything that I'm about to talk about here is all very, very personal, right? There's not going to be an exact number for somebody. I can't say, right, you need to do 16 sets per week for chest. Right, it just doesn't work like that. Everybody's different, everybody's got a certain amount of volume that they can handle, everybody's got a higher tolerance to stress. So this is all very, very, very person dependent, right? So it's kind of, what I'm telling you, that's just going to give you the kind of knowledge to kind of, you know, work it out for yourself. And once you are there, you can pretty much just stick with that until you're, and then you can pretty much just stick with that. So to properly answer that question, we kind of need to understand a wee bit about training volume, right? What it is, you know, how we can best apply what I'm about to say into our training, right? Okay, so there's a few pieces of kind of, you know, like key terminology that we need to pretty much establish first, right? So training volume, what the hell is training volume, right? Training volume is sets times reps times weight, right? Effectively, it's how much total work are you doing within one given session. So effectively, you're trying to figure out how much are you actually doing in a given session, right? Now, how you would find that out is you would take the sets times by the reps, and then times by the weight through all exercises throughout your full session. So that will determine pretty much your training volume. Okay, now the question that we're trying to unravel here is how many sets do I need to do per body part. Okay, so next up we've got MEV. Now MEV is minimum effective volume, right? Now what that means is that is the minimum amount of volume that you need to stimulate some sort of growth or, you know, maintain your muscle, right? Let's say, just as an example, let's say my chest, right? To maintain the size of my chest that is the now, I would need 10 sets, right? That's just a total, you know, that's just an example. So those 10 sets, that's my minimum effective volume, right? That's what I need to keep this muscle, to keep it about, you know. Next up, we have maximum recoverable volume. That's the maximum amount of sets that you're able to do that you can progress on and recover from week on week, right? So that is the absolute max amount of sets. So let's say, we'll just use the same example for my chest. Let's say my max amount of sets per week for chest is 20 sets, right? That means I could not do any more sets, or else I just wouldn't recover and I wouldn't make progress, right? Now, lastly, we've got RPE, right? Now, RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. That's the level 2 fitness instructor coming out. But basically, RPE is a scale of 1 to 10 on, you know, how hard you're working, right? So 1 obviously being like, take this a bicycle, what the fuck's this, right? That's 1, right? 10, it's like, you literally could not do any more. That is your 10 out of 10. So basically, to put it in short, how close are you to failure, right? 10 out of 10, you're at absolute failure, or are you more at a like kind of 5 or 6, you know, a warm up, basically. There's also another thing I've not spoke about just yet, and we know that the main kind of driver in building muscle is mechanical tension, right? Now, mechanical tension just simply means putting your muscle under, you know, higher stress each week, right? And what does that mean for myself and all my clients? I like to apply that to weight on the bar, right? Instead of adding more sets or more reps, again, the more sets we add, the more we're getting into that maximum recoverable volume. So the way I like to add volume or add stress over time is through load on the bar. Obviously, one thing that keeps consistent is intensity, right? For myself and all my clients, I get everyone to work at absolute failure intensity, so 10 out of 10. So that stays constant. And then we progress through load on the bar, okay? Now, obviously, intensity stays constant. Your form and execution across all exercises stays constant as well. That way, the only thing that is changing is the load and the reps. So again, we need to keep in mind that mechanical tension is the biggest driver in muscle growth, and that is what's going to see the most results rather than adding more sets and, you know, countless junk volume, okay? Now that we've got that basic terminology covered, now we get into the meat and bones of it, right? How many sets do I need per body part to grow? Now the research has also been pretty clear on the fact that you can pretty much gain muscle anywhere in the 10 to 20 set rep ranges. Now that is a big margin of work that you pretty much need to do. So it's just about kind of how can we narrow that down to what's going to be the most, you know, the most accurate to yourself, right? Now obviously we know that we need to be hitting a minimum of 7 out of 10 intensity, right, for all exercises to produce some sort of hypertrophy response, right? Now, the lower you are on that RPE range, the higher you're probably going to have to veer towards that 20 set rep target, right? Now, the higher you work on the RPE, the lower your sets are going to have to be. Now, this is because the higher we work in RPE, the more fatigue is generated. How do we know if we're doing too much, right? You're overly sore, right? You feel tired, you're not progressing weekly in your lifts, and you're just stalling in total, right? You're not really getting anywhere. That is a sign that you could be breaching your maximum recoverable volume. So we know that our big body parts like our chest, our back and our legs are going to need less volume, right, than our smaller body parts like our biceps and maybe even our delts as well, right? So stuff like biceps, you know, stuff like delts and stuff, they can take a lot more volume. So you can probably start with your volume on the higher end of that 10 to 50 or that 10 to 20, so maybe in the 15 to 16. Whereas other body parts such as your chest, your back and your legs, you could probably start quite comfortably at 10 sets, right? 10 sets per week. So again, what I like to do is I like to get everyone to start on the lowest amount of sets possible for that specific body part, right? Now we know that smaller body parts can take up, you know, more volume, so we'll start on the higher end of volume. But for stuff like chest, back and legs, I've started clients on as little as 8 sets per week, right? We monitor volume. Are we progressing the lifts? Are we, you know, are we getting stronger each week? Are we actually applying progressive overload? If we are, good, we'll stay there, right? So, to the person that asked me this question, right, it's a lot more than me just saying you need to do 10 sets per muscle group, because it's a much bigger question than that. It's, you know, it's gathering It's finding out what you can actually do, what you can recover from. Are you progressing? Are you feeling too sore? Are you actually applying intensity? Are you actually breaching that 7 out of 10? Are you progressing your lifts? It's all a huge avenue right now. The whole intensity debate, that's just another rabbit hole in itself. I can pretty much talk forever on that as well. So if you want a video on that, let me know. So just to round off, right, bigger muscle groups like your chest, your back and your legs, they don't really need that much volume to progress, okay? Whereas, smaller body parts like your biceps, delts and like calves and stuff like that, you could probably start off in the higher end of those sets, right? Now, one thing you need to make sure you're doing is you need to make sure you're hitting a minimum intensity. You need to make sure that you're progressing week on week with your lifts, right? So that pretty much covers that. I think I've covered everything in this. I hope I have, because I've just spent ages talking over this. But let me know if you like this style of content, wee bit educational content. Another thing, this is all based off of a guy called Mike Israetel's work. Now, Mike Israetel pretty much pioneered or coined those terms, maximum, minimum effective volume and maximal recoverable volume. So if you want to learn more about training volume and have it explained in a much better way than I did, then please go check him out. He's got multiple studies. He's a really smart guy. So yeah, go check him out. Anyway, I'll leave that off there. Again, if you like that style of content, like the video, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you all soon.